squatting down and my knees are like feeling like spaghetti noodles, so I'm like trying to shake them off. But my name is Jaime Stubbs, pronouns she and her. I am a case manager at Tanager Place as, please say your name.
Miss Man.
Miss Man, okay. So has anybody heard of Tanager Place by any chance? What do we know about Tanager? I see some head nods. Okay, so pretty much I work with the inpatient setting at Tanager, so that means that it's a 24-hour facility for any teens that need help, teens or kids that need help with anything as far as mental health treatment. So I kind of deal with a lot of heavy stuff, so what I'm going to get into, if for some reason you feel uncomfortable, or if you're like, Jaime, this is too much, please just kind of give me like a thumbs up or kind of do this so I know like, okay, let me be mindful of your own mental health today. So thank you all for having me. All right, so pretty much as everything that was stated, I apologize for this, I don't know what that is, but I like baby goats. So I wanted to share this because I am a city girl, like literally born and raised in Chicago, and I had this weird connection to baby goats like in my junior year of undergrad. And so my friends actually took me to go do goat yoga, which was like really, really fun. So I highly recommend it. But I will say to make sure you bring a change of clothes because they will pee on you and stuff too. But I feel like they will, so I just wanted to add that. All right, so I am not going to be the only person talking this morning. So unfortunately, I am going to call on some people if you do not volunteer. So what I want to do is just kind of break the ice, and then we'll jump into the topic today, and we will be focusing on something mental health, so I will get into that. So the questions that I have is, what do you like about yourself? Where do you like to go to feel most at peace and relaxed? And what does happiness mean to you? If you answer the question, you get one of these wonderful Love Day prizes that I have here on the table. So whoever wants to share first, please feel free to do so, and then you'll get one of the prizes. Oh. Okay, you go first, and then you. Go ahead. Which one would you like to answer? Okay. Which one would you like to hear? This. Thank you for answering, my dear. All right, I saw you, so I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead. Okay, why do you like your hair, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, cool. What would you like? What price for? Okay. The hearts are the winners so far. Thank you. What's your name? Dylan, nice to meet you. Okay, you right here, sweetheart. Yes, yes.
Where do I go to
Okay. You said outside and walks? Okay. Well, I have one of the loves here, so I hope that's okay. Okay. And one more. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna just point and I'm gonna see who I'm landing on. You. What would you like to answer?
I feel relaxed when I'm near one of my favorite teachers.
Okay. Who's your favorite? Should I ask who your favorite teacher is, or do you want to whisper it to me? Did they name you?
I have 3.
Okay. Want to name them all?
One is Miss Burke.
Good choice since I'm sitting right
Very
here.
good. Very, very relaxed then.
Miss Gardner, and who was the other one? They're not in this school, but it's one of my teachers from elementary. Her name is Miss Nelson.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining me with my icebreaker. So all can kind of share some of this too, because I feel like you should practice what you preach when you ask questions, right? So what I like about myself, as much as I'm talking right now, and please forgive me for sweating and everything, but what I like about myself is that I'm actually an introvert. So fun fact, I also grew up with a fraternal twin sister. She's in Texas right now. And so my twin, Janae, she's like extroverted, into sports, into all of the wonderful good stuff where you have to socialize with people, and I'm kind of like, please leave me alone, right? So pretty much for me, I had to learn to kind of really be social in settings like this to really tell when I date. So, all right. So we will be jumping into mental health through the lens of self-love, and since tomorrow is Love Day, and since that's also my favorite holiday, I wanted to talk about 3 objectives that we can focus on as far as self-love. So understanding your self-worth, self-worth, learning how to trust yourself, and not comparing yourself to other people. So, looking at these particular objectives, I just wanted to ask, what do you all think of when you see these particular objectives? Is there anything that sticks out to you, or anything that you want to add? Anybody? Nope. Okay, cool. Well, I'll pretty much jump into these objectives, and I'm actually going to kind of stand over here just a little bit, just so that I can kind of make sure I'm like seeing everybody interacting with the crowd. So when understanding your self-worth, you pretty much have to understand like how you treat yourself is more important than how anybody else views you. So I'll give you a little real life example. As you can see, for whatever example, my body is like, we're gonna sweat our butts off right now, and I'm like, please, because I'm trying to present. So I have to do this, and now my makeup is coming off, and I'm like, oh geez, now I have to do this in real life, right? But I'm choosing to talk to you all because no matter what I'm going through, as embarrassing or as uncomfortable it is, I'm still choosing to be here, right? And then also learning to trust yourself. To be honest, as much as I'm an introvert, it allows me to think a lot, and sometimes when I think or I'm overthinking, it can be negative. But when I'm trusting myself, that leads to a confidence that nobody can take away from me. And then also learning to not compare yourself to other people. As I mentioned with my twin or other people who's like more social or more talented than me, or sometimes I think they are, it just allows me to know that I have to be myself and everybody else is taken. So I love this quote. I'm also a huge quote person as well too. So that's just something that I just choose to live by. All right, self-love and Black history significance. So I don't know if you all have phones or anything, or maybe you can kind of try to give a hint. But when we think about Black history, and especially being a Black woman up here, this is somebody who's very famous and not in a good way. So if any, I don't know if you all have heard of this quote. I don't know if some teachers in this room may also know about this quote too. But this is a hint that I want to share. This particular person said this quote within a speech, and it said to keep the body and take the mind. Can anybody think of who I may be talking about? Yes.
Maybe like think with your brain, maybe.
Yes, yes. Do you happen to know who the speaker may be? And if you don't, that's okay. No, okay. I wish I had some more prizes to give you, but thank you for answering. Does anybody else want to try to jump in?
Hitler.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I wasn't thinking of Hitler, but that's actually really good. I wish I could give you a prize as well too. Anybody else? No? Okay, so this is actually from someone named Willie Lynch. He was the person who pretty much was teaching other slave masters or just other people who had slaves to pretty much tell them what it's like to just stay within slavery within your mind. So with mental health, you're gonna see a lot of things where you probably have already seen a lot of things about self-care and self-love and all of these terms that go out. But one thing that I want you all to understand when it comes down to mental health, you cannot treat it like it's something that's performative. You really have to be intentional about it. And so, do I have any 8th graders in here by any chance? Anybody that's getting ready? 6th and 7th grade? I think that's what I'm recording. All 7. Okay. So you're gonna be going into 8th grade, for example, and then you'll also be going into high school. And one thing that you probably know, and also like from your favorite teachers that someone mentioned back in that last row, I think I forgot his name. I apologize. What's your name again, sweetie? Carter. Say it again. Carter. Okay. Pretty much as Carter said, where he has 3 favorite teachers, for example. When you're thinking of self-love and also thinking of the attacks on your mind, it's very important to know that you have. It's very important to know that you have those people that have your back. So with Black history, what Willie Lynch did is that he pretty much told other slave masters to say like, hey, here's something that you can do to keep African American people enslaved for longer than they are, even if they're not physically in chains. So pretty much what he told them to do within the speech is to keep the body and take the mind, is that no matter what you choose to do, like, yeah, you can be successful, yeah, you can make a lot of money, but if you don't have the confidence in yourself, none of that stuff is gonna matter. So pretty much he was a mastermind as far as keeping up that routine and everything. So I wanted to really share this with self-love because this is very important to Black history, and especially as a Black woman, and also even if you're not Black, having confidence again is something very significant to have. All right, so when it comes down to daily life choices to support self-love, I was trying so hard to think of you all's age group, to be honest, because I know that I'm 26, so I know that I'm young, but I cannot tell you the old lady that comes through my spirit every single day. So I was really having trouble trying to think of like, what can I tell 6th to 8th graders? What can I tell middle schoolers, right? And so pretty much one thing that I want you all to focus on, and I want you to listen to me very carefully when I say this, please be mindful of the media that you intake. This is very important because growing up on the south side of Chicago, I'm gonna be honest, I love me some hip hop, some drill music, all of that stuff. I used to listen to it, right? But then how can I get around kids and tell you all to be confident, to love yourself, but I'm still choosing to live a different life when I leave your presence, right? That doesn't make sense. So even for me, I have to make sure that I'm listening to things that's more softer and things that's more healing, and not things that's just like, oh, we're gonna talk about violence today, and then we're gonna all hold hands and sing Kumbaya or whatever. Like, that's not gonna work. So I want you all to make sure that whatever you're choosing to listen to, whatever TikTok trends you're getting into, please make sure that it's helping you in a positive way, and don't worry about your peers, okay? Next thing that I wanna say is positive environments. Please make sure the people that you're looking in this room, as far as staff or faculty, these are the people that you probably wanna make sure that you have in the back of your mind when you're going through troubles. And I'm gonna tell you why. Life is gonna get hard. It's gonna get even more harder, but if you don't have the resources, meaning people to help you get through those things, it's gonna be even tougher. And then last thing that I wanna say is make mistakes and laugh. Again, I used to be very hard on myself. Sometimes I still am. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just calm down. Maybe I should just, be normal. But unfortunately, that's just not how I am. That's just not who I am. So I had to learn, especially within the last 2 years or so, just to relax, laugh, make mistakes. It's okay. Like, just calm down, pretty much. Does anybody else want to add to any life choices that you think can support your self-love? And also your mental health, if you want to add that as well. Yes.
Kind of like being happy.
Say that again.
Kind of like happy, like appreciate like who you are, kind of like adding to like the mistakes and the laugh part.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. I like that as well. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. All right. So, closing remarks, pretty much what I have for you all is that please remember that self-love is just not a phrase, but it's an action. Life, again, is going to throw a lot of hurdles at you, a lot of barriers, a lot of things where you're just like, man, screw this, I don't want to deal with it. But if you find the, I guess you can say the courage to really love yourself and know what that looks like, it's definitely going to change. I'm 26, but I'm still meeting different versions of myself. I'm pretty sure a lot of faculty and staff in this room are also like, yep, you can count me, you can put me on that list as well. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that you are responsible for how you love yourself in all the areas in your life. And just please, as you get ready to celebrate Valentine's Day, if you celebrate it, you may look at some people where you're like, why is her teddy bear bigger than me? Why is her chocolate? Why she have all this stuff? Like, just try to please make sure you don't compare yourself and love yourself in the best way that you can. So yeah, I just pretty much wanted to share that. And last thing, if you ever want to like kind of chat with me more, I am going to leave my email up here, or I can share it with the staff as well. And then I also just want to leave you with some activities if you want to kind of get into the groove of loving yourself more. So has anybody heard of the 5 love languages quiz by any chance? Yes. Okay. I highly recommend taking that. Mine is quality time. That's my top one. Having this quiz, it teaches you how to love yourself, and then when you kind of talk with other people, it teaches you how to love them as well. So that's a really good resource. Also, creating a gratitude journal. So this is something that you can do pretty much every day, anytime when you're like, man, even if you had a really bad day, there's always something to be grateful for, right? So it helps you with that growth mindset, just for you to kind of choose like what it is that you want to go towards in a positive way, in a sense. So I really love that as well. And then just practicing daily affirmations. One affirmation that I said, sometimes I say it silently, and sometimes I say it like when I'm in a car. But one thing that I like to say is that I trust myself, I believe in myself, it's going to happen better than I imagine. So even as I'm sweating, it's like I'm just still kind of going and just trusting the journey, trusting that I'm here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I pretty much hope that was amazing. I hope that you all had something to just kind of encourage you on this morning. And I want to thank Franklin just for having me pretty much. So I can take any questions, any comments, just anything anybody wants to say. But thank you so much again for having me. Hopefully I wasn't going too fast.
Who can get a couple questions in? We got a couple minutes left. Who's brave? I see some treats that got delivered by Mr. Borak over there. So if you answer the question, you can have the first. If you ask a question, you have the first treat.
So, where is like the building? Like,
The building that I work, it's on, so it's right on Wilson Ave, excuse me, called, and it's like, it's Wilson and C Ave pretty much. So, I'm trying to give you, I'm like a visual person, and like as far as where it's from here, it's like right by, do you know like the Czech Village?
Yeah.
That's where it's at. That's the best visual I
And
can give.
Tanager's kinda all over, we have a Tanager therapist that's here full-time, and so they have buildings in different centers, but they're
Yeah.
also in a lot of schools and other community centers as
Absolutely.
well.
Yep. And then there's one too right in like the main quarter, like downtown, but I'm on the main campus. But yes, I can take your question.
Have you always wanted to like get construction or
Say that again.
have you always wanted to like do what you do or
No, I actually did not. Mental health, I'll get your question in a minute, I promise. Mental health, I'm a very spiritual led person, to be honest, and I felt like I was called into this field and I didn't know why. So when I was doing communication and event planning, I did a lot of events back at the University of Iowa when I was a student there. And so within the recent years, I was working at Cole College. Does everybody know where Cole College is? Okay. So I was working there as a program coordinator, and something about that role I was thankful for. I was thankful for the team that I had, but something was like, I called you to do something else, and I was like, please leave me alone. Like, I don't want to do this, but it challenges me more than anything. And working with kids, I'm gonna be honest, working with you all in any way, shape, or form, it challenges me because it forces me to practice what I preach. So mental health was not my field that I wanted to get in, but now that I'm in it, I wouldn't change it for the world. So yeah, what's your question?
what's the name of the job you work at? What do you need to get to? Like, what college do you?
So, I'm gonna make sure, let me know if I'm not answering every part of your question, but I'm a case manager, so normally being a case manager, you have to have a degree like in social work or anything in human services. Luckily enough for me, as you can kind of tell how I